Thank you for taking a few minutes to look at some of the new features in Gravity Software's version 6.1. At Gravity, we believe in listening to our users. During the course of using our product, Gravity's users provide us feedback for things that we can enhance that would help them with their jobs and help grow our product. You'll see in version 6.1, a lot of features have come directly from Gravity's end users. You'll see here Gravity's version 6.1 new feature guide. Now I'm going to move this aside, and we are going to look at Gravity here. You'll see, first off on the menu, we have built some inquiries. First, our journal inquiry, an inquiry into the journal entry lines that are posted. We had feedback from our users that they would like an easy way to change a dimension value, because they may have made a mistake and picked the wrong dimension on a transaction. Using the Journal Inquiry screen, you can look for entries based upon virtually anything you see on the screen. For example, if I were to type in the word star motor, and I would be able to look for anything where the description contains the value motor. Now I'm going to open up one of those lines, and when I open that line up, you'll see I have the ability to edit the document number, the description, and the dimension. This makes it really easy to update an incorrect line item for a dimension, so we can report on it correctly on financial reports. Now, another feature that came from our end users is the ability to do what we call a quick bill check, which is where we are putting in both the bill or voucher information, as we call it, at the top, and all of the payment information at the same time. So, with one transaction, we're able to create both the bill and the payment. And this works really well when you have situations where maybe the payment was already made and we don't want to have to go into the voucher screen and then put in the voucher, and then later go into the check maintenance screen and record the manual check. This will give us the ability to do all this at once. In addition, we can do an automated check where we actually print the check out. We want to simplify the whole process, and we gather feedback from our users as how we can make Gravity better. Now I'll show you another feature here, our new Fixed Assets module. Gravity's Fixed Asset module gives you the ability to manage multiple fixed assets and multiple sets of fixed assets books. For example, in this case, I have both an internal set of books and a personal property tax set of books. One of them has a straight-line depreciation, and one has a double declining balance depreciation. This gives us the ability to record one set of financial books for internal use for posting to the GL, but for others for tax purposes, so we can easily give our report to our accountants, for example, giving them the ability to have all the information already calculated for them. Another new feature we have at Gravity is our new reporting architecture. We basically changed the deployment of our financial reports, and we have created a report server with the ability to give more report features, also being easier to use and having better performance with it. You'll see here. First, I'll go back to reporting. We now have the report server and the report designer as separate processes. So if I go back here to the report server, it's the exact same reports that we had before. There are new features enabled with them. We have the ability to render those reports, as I have here. So this is a financial report that was designed in Designer from a previous version of Gravity. Instead of rendering in the HTML product that we had before, we are now rendering in our report server. And of course, all the features, like drill back, we have that so you can click on the option here, drill back to any of the transactions, and eventually drill back to the source documents and downloads and so on. So this report server is becoming the architecture for our reporting capabilities. Additionally, we have the ability to build packages. Packages can be groups of reports. I only have one report right now, but you can have 3 or more reports in a package, and have them either as Excel or PDF format, and even set up an email distribution for those reports. This gives users the ability to not have to run 10 reports at the end of the month manually, and then send an email out separately and so on. The report server will do that by itself for us. This is deliverable today. with the ability to run all our advanced reports and package them up as packages to be run at the end of the month or end of a period. But what we are adding to this, enhancing this, be being able to run all of our standard reports, whether they be financial reports or be operational reports like general ledger, aged payables, and so on. Coming this year is going to be the ability to take a report, like this is a general ledger for example. You'll see here the ability to have the selections you have on a ledger, but let's get even more advanced with the selections. Let's go out here and pick from virtually any column that you want to see on a general ledger report. What order do you want to see them in? You can move them around. How large do you want them? And what do you even decide what to call them? Instead of calling it Dimension 1, you may want to call it Projects. And how do you want to sort within this? So you can pick the ID on what you want to sort it on. This will give all our reports a lot more flexibility. The ability to design your own reports within the context, let's say the Aged Payables report for example, or the General Ledger. And then, once you have designed it, you can save it as a name and use that over and over again. So if you just laid out a nice general ledger with a lot of different criteria and sorting on it, great, save it as a name. Then include it in a package. Maybe there's a package you want to create that includes an aged payables report, an aged receivables report to management. You will be able to make those packages and then save them. This is going to give you a lot of flexibility in the future with our reports. So currently, we are just releasing the financial reports, but in the very near future, we'll have this general ledger report, and we will be quickly adding all of our other reports in this architecture with a lot of capabilities of sorting, selecting, and so on. Along the way, in Gravity's version 6.1, we've added a lot of new reports, and I'm going to show you one here, which is a Voucher Edit report. We had requests from end users that we need to review somebody's work because they're new. Here, you can see, you can pick one or more companies. You can pick the user that you want to see. You can pick unposted, for example, date range. This is going to allow you to page through all their transactions so you can see what account number they used, what the description was, if there was any item on it, and so on. So you have an audit here that you can review before you post the transactions. Sometimes this is much more efficient than actually going into the transactions and looking at them on the screen. The edit reports are going to give us the capability to see more items quickly, without having to see each transaction individually. These are some highlights in Gravity Software's version 6.1, and we appreciate you taking the time to review. At Gravity Software, we are always improving our product. We look forward to additional enhancements over 2022 and beyond. Learn more at gogravity.com.